One of the interviews we had a few weeks back was with Eric Ressler, and he is the creative founder of a company called Cosmic. They're a technology partner. They partner with a lot of social and nonprofit initiatives that they get the chance to upgrade or do something to enrich their platforms. And he had mentioned that the quickest thing that nonprofits seem to take to in terms of agile is the concept of sprinting. And what do you think? Maybe is it something like it's less intimidating, or is there some parallels there that would make it so that a nonprofit would be more likely to reach towards something like sprinting, which is a subset of Scrum?
I I totally understand that perspective because that's what I gravitated to first as well. And I think that one of the main reasons why the sprint concept is so attractive to nonprofit organizations is that we have such a huge volume of things that we need to accomplish. No, so much in the nonprofit sector is about doing more with fewer people, which is completely overwhelming for a lot of people. And it can really feel like you're on the hamster wheel. You know, you are just walking as fast as you can, running in your little wheel, and you can't get anywhere. And the attractiveness of a sprint model is that you have something that you are completely focused on for whatever period that is, whether it's 2 weeks or something else. And at the end of that period, in theory, you have something done. And I can't imagine the feeling the first time you actually set a goal and say, wow, I got that done, when you haven't been able to do that in your job for a really long time. That's going to be one of those transformational experiences of, oh yeah, I need to do this again. And this kind of builds into another model that I'm completely obsessed with, which the two interface incredibly well. And that's the 12-week year model. The 12-week year by Brian Moran is like one of my favorite books. And okay, just to completely nerd out now. So the three books that tend to be around in this space on a regular basis: Scrum, Getting Things Done. In fact, it's right here. So GTD, Scrum, and the 12-week year are like my three productivity Bibles. And with the 12-week year, the thing that I emphasize with people that I teach it to is that this is about strategic imbalance and intentional imbalance, which is what he says in his book. But for me, I like to say strategic imbalance because it's the, what can I focus on now that's going to move the needle the most? So whether that's today, the next hour, the next week, the next month, whatever, the next sprint period, what can we do to move the needle? And that's one of those things that I think nonprofits are really bad at, is because everything's important. So they focus on everything. It's like that old exercise of write the letters of the alphabet and then write the numbers 1 through 26. And if you do all the letters and then all the numbers, you're faster than if you do A1, B2, C3.
Yes. Context switching, yes.
Exactly. And nonprofits do that context switching all the time. And to force them out of that model and say, okay, you need to really focus on project A until project A is done, is completely radical to most nonprofit organizations, and particularly to their fundraising teams who are like, so that's one of the things that I really appreciate about applying the sprint piece in particular, is that you have a project that you as a team are focused on finishing. And you know that there's going to be an outcome at the end. So what steps do you need to do to get to that outcome in this period of time? And that concept is radical for most nonprofit teams that I've worked with.